Wessex Blades. Just finished this beautiful Lexol and desert ironwood. So that one's done. There's been a lot of trials with the new Lexol. You may have been noticing a few posts, be it Instagram or YouTube, regarding a change in my conditioning rationale for leather. Picking up on a few just the merest sort of hint of a query over neatsfoot oil, in that it over time accelerated the oxidation of leather, i.e. breaking down of the leather fibres. So straight away I got onto as much information regarding it as possible. Very little out there, certainly as far as I'm aware. No one's really given a bad rap on neatsfoot oil, so this is first I sort of heard of it. And then I bought myself a bottle of this, which is Lexol. The upshot of it all is, whether or not in the UK we have the same standard of formula for neatsfoot as they do in the US, but apparently it was mil-spec'd to a proportion of ingredients, and there was mineral oil and all sorts of stuff. It may not actually have been derived from cows, it could have been derived from other animals as well, you know, because it's as good as, so it got mil-spec'd. So I've got this, it's based on something else, rather than the neatsfoot, which would have been boiled down cow's hooves, is what I thought was being put into it, i.e. you're putting cow back into the leather, thereby conditioning it, feeding it in a way, giving it as much chance to be nourished. So I've moved on with this. Trials included how well it went in, whether it absorbed, whatever. The other thing I did was, I obviously know that this is a conditioner, but what people may not appreciate are the varying terms of what the things that we use, the products that we use in leather, as in leather, the subject matter. So carnauba cream is a wax finish. Okay, so that's a conditioner, that is a finish. So what I did was I used these two neck ferro rod holders as a trial. So yesterday, every now and again I went in and done another treatment of Lexol, and the previous day, and I think I put in maybe 30 applications of it, just to see what would happen if you hadn't gone Lexol, if you've gone Lexol only, rather than you've refed your leather with a bit of Lexol, and then in order to protect it from then on for the next few months, you put a coat of carnauba. So instead of there being a carnauba protective finish, only use the Lexol. So there's some slip, another little film bit in here. It gradually the dye went, so you do definitely need to put a protective layer on top of the Lexol. So don't be thinking, oh, I've only got to do that to protect my leather. In time, you will remove the whatever top coat of carnauba, because you're just dragging it in, and it'll gradually rub off or whatever. You need to reapply a carnauba over the top of it whenever you treat your leather, as in treat in every respect. You're treating your leather, you're giving it a treat. Okay, you're giving it a feed, a condition of Lexol, and that dry let it settle down, and then give a protective coat of carnauba cream afterwards, just to shed a little bit of weather, shed some wear and tear, and in time when, you know, 6 months later, you may have got your leather wet or something, you could have got dirty, you've had to wash it. You would then allow it to dry, condition it, top wax finish it. So what I've done with the test is just Lexol. It does slowly but surely, the dye fades away. So I've re-dyed them, re-Lexoled them, re-carnauba creamed them, just to prove to you that this is what it says it is. It's a conditioner, as opposed to a one trick fixes all, and then you come back to me saying, you said it was better for conditioning. Yeah, conditioning is feeding the leather. Okay, you still need to protect it in some way. A natural finish would be the carnauba. If you wanted to once and for all it, there are other things you could do. You could put a finish on it like this, or you use the resolene, which is an acrylic type finish. That's more like a thin coat of acrylic gloss paint, but you can see through it, if that makes sense. That sheds weather quite well. Okay. Another way of doing it is if you were on the inside of your sheath, you could tan coat that if you wanted. There's a sort of it sort of seals it a fair amount. It's tan coat for me is more for something if I was going to be using the antiquing gels, because it's a good top coat for that. You put your antique gel in and rub it off, and all in all the little hollows you've got the gel stay in. Tan coat's really useful for doing that. And then you'd top coat that with something else afterwards. Okay, so anyway, these are now ready to go because the Leku's getting one of these for a very patient customer, so I shall choose a very nice one like that, and get that in the way to post this week. But yeah, the rationale from this point forward for my leather will be that as a conditioner. I haven't done trials yet with Rob Radcliffe's thingy-majiggy blend, but I could incorporate that afterwards. But for now, just so I know everything's standardized, it'll be Lexol, and then either resolene if it was people wanted a really protective coat on, or if you want a natural finish, it would be carnauba cream. So thanks for joining me, thanks for your support. It was just one of those things. It was a lucky happenstance. I noticed a comment on something and I went, neatsfoot? Not biblically exactly what you're supposed to do. So I acted on it, bought some, and every time that I've now researched Lexol as opposed to neatsfoot oil, the Lexol seems to be more accepted as a more appropriate blend of, I'm guessing it's more brains than it is cow's feet. They don't let on what they're putting into it, but it's more of the oils that they've attributed to conditioning. They've made them into a micro emulsion, so that it gets better penetration and doesn't slip around so much within the leather, something called migration, where it would move through the leather and eventually move back out of the leather. This stays in it better, is the sort of thing to take away. So I'm now using this. It's available on Amazon and other things, so it is available, but don't think this is a one application does all thing. As seen in the photos earlier, it's not a top coat finished thing. It's a nourish your leather, feed your leather, condition your leather thing, as opposed to a cover it up and shed the weather thing. Okay, Scott Wessex Blades out. Have to join me again. Available on also Instagram and First Block, and I'll see you on the next one when I crack on with some more leather work. But yeah, it's been a bit of a trial week, and that's what I'm going to do when I'm moving forward.